They're essentially a stuffed tortilla at its core, but there's something about it that makes it so special. Normally, you can find it like every 5 feet on every corner. It's only a stone's throw away to the next pupuseria here in El Salvador. But during COVID and quarantina, it's been a little more difficult. So I thought, no better time than to try to perfect my pupusa game. The women at the pupuserias make it look so simple, but it's not. It's actually kind of difficult. There's an art form to it. And my mother-in-law gave me a quick tutorial.
Cuando está aplanado, se le ponen los ingredientes. El frijol, el queso, el chicharrón. Y luego se cierra.
So I'm hoping I can do this dish justice. This is not like my normal kitchen how-to recipes. This is me trying to do this dish justice. So today we're making revuelta pupusas, which literally means a mix. So we're going to need first our masa. That's the base of every pupusa. You can use the maiseca with a little bit of lard or water, but it won't taste quite the same. What you really want is traditional masa, which you need from a tortilla lady or a tortilla dude. Usually you can ask them to just give you a little bit of the masa or sell you a little bit on the side. Okay? And it gives you the authentic taste because it's brown, it's processed, it's just lighter than the actual flour itself. The next thing that we'll need are refried beans and chicharron. You can usually find this in the store in the frozen food aisle, already ground up, so you don't have to take care of that. And last but not least, you'll need your quesillo. We get our quesillo with loroco already in it because loroco is amazing. It's also another Salvadorian food that if you haven't had already, you need to try. Okay, so do you remember what Abuelita told us to do with the cheese?
Mush it.
We mush it. Mush it good. Mush it into place. Let's get it. Mush it, mush it, mush it. Are you eating the cheese, my little mouse? I don't blame you. That's good.
Me too.
Homemade means you licked the spoon and kept cooking. To make a pupusa, the first thing you need is your masa. Do you want a little masa? Just a little bit, ladies. There you go. Do you want a little? You want to make a little pupusa? Okay, grab a little. Feels a lot like Play-Doh, right? Okay. So you're going to kind of make it into a ball. And then you want to flatten it out into a little tortilla shape.
I'm making my ball.
You made your ball? Good, now flatten it out. Flatten it out. And take out the center part. That looked all professional, right? Okay, so you have your circular form. You're now going to take a little bit of everything. So let's start with a little bit of beans. A little bit of the chicharron.
First I'm going to try this.
And a lot of bit of cheese, I think. Cheese is what makes a pupusa amazing. Okay, then you're gonna go ahead and make it into kind of like a taco shape. Hey, there's Daddy. And roll it on up.
I bet that's going to help us.
Daddy's gonna help. Okay, back into a ball form. And then you slowly, you want to go down? And there you have it. That's a pupusa. Well, a raw pupusa. It's a little choreada, but it'll work. It needs a Band-Aid. go ahead and fry some of these up and see how they turned out. They're a little chorreada, but I think they're okay, especially this one. This one almost looks legit. So we're gonna go ahead and let these fry up a little bit until it's time to flip them. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to tell when to flip, but do you hear that? They're starting to grill up. I think I might actually pull this off. So I often get asked on my channel if I speak Spanish, and the short answer is not nearly as well as I'd like to. And entiendo más o menos, pero no puedo hablar mucho. I just no tengo tiempo para practicar mucho. It's difficult. Spanish is difficult, dude. English is like so easy compared to Spanish. Well, the grammar of English, the pronunciation of English is just, it's insane. It doesn't make any sense. But the grammar in English, much easier. I love Spanish. I'm trying. Estoy tratando. That's the short answer. So the ladies at the pupuserias do this like with just their hands sometimes, and I'm not at that level. But they are starting to feel much better than the last time. Yay! Babe, I think I did it.
Good job.
So while the pupusas grill up, I'm gonna go ahead and make some hot chocolate. This is a hot chocolate disc from El Salvador, and it has 3 ingredients: cocoa, sugar, and bicarbonate, which is baking soda. You just mix this with 4 cups of water and you let it boil. According to my husband's grandma, 3 times. It has to boil 3 times before you can serve it. Why? We're not exactly sure, but she also told him you can't eat this raw, which my theory is that's because she didn't want him eating it as a kid, because I've eaten it raw many times and I never got sick. That right there, that little piece of cheese that's spilling on out, that's the best part, bar none. I feel like they're a little blonde. I'm not really sure when they're done, but I know what a good pupusa tastes like, so. You guys, I did it. I made a legit pupusa. I made a few of them. And guess what? They're delicious. Yum. Always use your hands to eat pupusas. Eat them alongside curtido and salsa. And always on Sundays with the family. So how are they?
Ok. Pensé que no iban a estar tan buenas, pero están buenísimas. Y pueda que, obviamente mi esposa, tampoco voy a hablar mal de sus pupusas, pero es real, es verdad. El queso, el chicharrón, todo perfecto. El curtidito, o sea, quedó excelente, así que muy bien.
Buen provecho. Have an amazing day.